Welcome back to the Unreasonables podcast with your host, Local. Your other host, Free Thigh.
Your other host, Civilized.
Free Thigh, that's Free Thigh.
Huh?
Your other host, Civilized. And we're joined by our guest, left side, Wyatt,
Hello.
the only person who's been impeached in our mock government, and Gaylord. Our
Actually, he
first
was
topic.
never impeached. He resigned, and then everybody got really mad.
Okay, I Nixoned him. Anyway, so our first topic
but that never worked because it failed. You only got 2 votes in the Senate for that.
is the North Pole communist.
All right, let's move on to serious.
No.
issues.
Just because you screwed up doesn't mean I don't get to have my fun. All right.
I can't look at your messages, Wyatt.
Look at the reindeer.
Just read them.
Just
read them.
I can't.
Okay, look at the reindeer names. All right, Dancer, Russians are good dancers. Blitzer, they're going to blitz through West Europe. And then Dasher, they're going to also dash through West Europe. And then Rudolph, with his red nose, is the symbol of a coming communist revolution that will spread all throughout the world. And think about it, Santa just gives away free stuff. Okay, he's trying to hypnotize the young kids into liking communism. All right, that's my take.
I actually think that the North Pole is monarchist communist.
So you just mean Stalinism?
Yes, and Santa is the monarch.
So with his whole cult of personality about him being magical and stuff, and the elves he has in a slave labor camp, basically. Except for that one dentist from the Island of Misfit Toys.
Back, and the elves have slave labor camps.
Hey, stop that.
You are
Okay, and then you've got the only elves who isn't in a slave labor camp.
Alright, I'm gonna have to mute this kid.
Okay, and the only elf not in a slave labor camp is the dentist from the Island of Misfit Toys movie claymation. So obviously it's communism.
Alright, let's move on to something else.
Alright, and then we got the Syria situation where we just shot down a Syrian jet a couple days ago after attacked coalition-backed forces, and we told them to stand down. So the Russians got mad and said any American jet west of the Euphrates will be treated as a target, or
Did
any
they say American jet or coalition?
Coalition jet. All right. Left side as our European expert and resident Brit. You can go first.
Resident Red, brilliant. So as I was saying before, we kind of fucked up.
Free Thigh fucked up.
Well, yeah. Russia has always been expansionist. It's always wanted to extend its land to Asia. We talked about the Eastern Bloc, of course, which it lost. But at the same time, I just can't see this really turning into any meaningful action. I don't think they would risk that, certainly against the Americans. Now we're in a post-Cold War era, and now that Russian-US relations are certainly meant to be improving with Trump and Putin. However, we should still be treating it with caution, certainly from the European side, the Germans, and I know the British are particularly concerned about this. But it's just talk. I don't think there's going to be much action, to be honest.
I think though, if it's like a Saudi jet or like a non-important Middle Eastern country jet, the Russians might shoot it down.
See, they wouldn't risk anything like an American jet. I can't see that.
Yeah, they wouldn't risk it like an American jet, but like a Saudi jet, we're not officially allied with them. We have no defense pact with them.
I mean, they might extend it to sort of proxy war kind of tactics, but I mean, anything past that, I think, would be a pointless aggressive.
They'll probably just go after U.S.-backed rebels from Syria and Iraq more often.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I think I've basically laid out my point. I think the Russians will be careful, but still aggressive.
Yes.
What about you, Free Thigh, Wyatt, Gaylord?
I don't really have a super strong opinion on this. I mean, we shouldn't really be involved there anyways. But
Oh yeah, why are we even there?
But Russia is trying to look strong and act tough, even though they really have a lot of economic and geographical issues.
and internal issues like Chechnya and shit, stuff like that.
Chechnya, not Chechnya.
Whatever, fuck off, Chechnya.
All right. Did you guys talk about the North Korea kid last podcast? The one who got killed in North Korea?
Yes, we did.
All right, I missed that. And then, so what do you guys think about the Virginia primary and the governor race?
Well, Virginia is like a changing state, I heard, and it's becoming more diverse, so it's harder for Republicans to win there. So,
yeah, the Democrat has a slight lead in polls. Well, decent lead in polls.
The Democrat will probably win unless the Republicans can at least get 40% of the Hispanic or Asian votes.
Yeah.
If they just try to continue down the way they're going, I mean, they might work nationwide a little longer, like Trump, but in states like Virginia and Colorado, I mean, you go back 20 years ago, those were Republican strongholds, and now they're Democratic leaning states. I mean, you can't deny that. So unless they pretty much branch out, I'm guessing. I'm saying I doubt they'll win.
The problem is Gillespie is an RNC establishment. I mean, he was RNC chairman at one point. He was one of George Bush's senior advisors.
Guys,
he's not an incumbent.
I just realized 6 minutes in, I forgot to turn off my music.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, you serious? Like, oh my God.
No. I thought it was gonna be way more funny than that because Wyatt.
I know,
Wyatt told me to do it. I thought you guys were gonna get so mad.
We thought.
Oh, I was mad. All right. So anyway, that's the reason that this is our second recording of this. But anyway, Gillespie is RNC establishment, right? The Trumpers won't like him. He was George Bush's senior advisor, which means real conservatives don't like him. And he's running against the centrists, not the progressive Democrat. So I think the centrist Democrat's gonna win.
Who just left?
Which is too bad because a lot of the Democrats that say they're centrists aren't really. They'll just be just as liberal as the other ones.
I mean, he's actually somewhat centrist from what I've heard.
Oh, really?
He's also an incumbent too. Like he was the lieutenant governor, and the governor can't actually run again.
I just know that guy. He supports Obamacare. He's against the right to work, so he's pro union and pro public union.
For a Democrat, that's pretty centrist, though.
Yeah, but and he also he criticized the previous Democratic governor who was really was a centrist, Gilmore, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
he repealed this car tax, and he argued with him about it, and then he also said that Democratic Party should not endorse people who are pro-life. So I can't.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't really say that he's too centrist.
Never mind. My information is wrong. Don't listen to me about Virginia. But yeah, so the Democrat has the lead in the polls. I think Gillespie winning is probably better than the Trumper winning for their.
I mean, yeah, but there still is 3 months left in the campaign.
Oh yeah, this is an early poll, but I just wanted to see you guys' opinions to see if you knew anything, which you guys knew more, or you knew more. All right, so special election record: Republicans are up 4-0. Only one of them was really a toss-up, though. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
I think it's really. I mean, it's good, obviously, for Republicans, but I don't think it's necessarily not so much that, but a teller of what's going to happen, because the same exact thing happened in 2009, and Democrats were 4-0 in special elections in 2009, and some of them were even in Republican leaning districts, and then guess what? The next year they lost lost Congress, 63 seats, and they almost nearly lost the Senate. So it isn't really that good of a predictor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's definitely better than losing those, but it's not necessarily.
Ossoff made a really good point. He said, we put up a fight when no one expected us to be able to put up a fight. It was a very narrow lead, right? So I think it'll just be interesting to see if the South will go Democrat.
I maybe the only parts of the South that are looking like that are Virginia, Georgia. They say Georgia maybe in 20 years it could be like that, but I don't know. And then Florida's been a swing state for the last 25 years anyway. So yeah. So yeah, that's. But it's funny because actually, if you look at Georgia, they haven't had a Democratic governor since the early 90s. It's been all Republicans for the last 20 years. Which is, I support that, but I mean, it's kind of interesting because they're the most swingy of any state. they went, Bush, Obama, then Trump, and yet they haven't had a Democratic government in like 20 years. It's kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any opinions on the special elections? I think we can all agree there's no real mandate. It's not like what people hype it up to be.
Yeah, no thoughts.
I also think it was kind of ridiculous because I was watching TV and like a lot of the Democrats said like the Republican Party was gonna like implode if they lost this Georgia election. It's like Jesus, it's one seat. It's like I don't think that's gonna cause like a civil war here.
Well, Newt Gingrich owned that seat back in the 70s, so it would have been a symbol if the Republicans lost it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Oh, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's still a symbol.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Politics isn't reality; it's just an image. It's just perception. The American people are easily fooled. Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and don't forget, we need to abolish the state, right?
Yeah, American people can't be fooled by the government if there is no government. Ha ha.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that Flint terrorist attack? I mean, honestly,
What happened?
Muslims from Canada shouted Allahu Akbar and then shot a cop, I think, is what it said.
So, we're supposed to just get used to this, kind of?
Yeah, I mean...
This happens every week.
Yeah, Nathan posted a meme, 0 days since last Muslim terrorist attack, and I felt like that would have been applicable, like, 3 days ago or something.
I know this isn't like the terror attacks in like Europe. I like the one where it's like in case of terrorist attack and it says like Twitter or like hashtag pray or like hashtag whatever. It says break the glass and it's like it's not really gonna do shit.
Well, when you open up your doors and you let all these people come in without any sort of vetting, I don't know. This is ridiculous. Like honestly. I'm so
obviously,
about this.
He's Canadian, so we need to build a northern wall, guys.
No, I actually hate the Canadians.
Canadians are annoying sometimes, but yeah.
I hate Canada. We should nuke Canada. We are building the wall on the wrong border.
We need to build both walls. Just build a wall that encompasses the whole U.S. coastline and borders.
Was the terrorist a Canadian native?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he was from Canada.
Okay.
The one thing I don't understand is why always like minorities always vote Democrat. Like I don't get that.
Well, it's another slave plantation, dude.
I just don't understand.
Have you ever seen that meme where it's like a Democratic slave owner in the 1800s and it's a Democratic Party manager and then another black voter? But it's
I
still
haven't
the same.
seen that, but that sounds funny.
But it's still they're still bound to the Democrat. And it's the Republicans trying to fight the slavery and the Republicans trying to get them out of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Obviously, it hasn't helped. I think didn't Trump say something like "You have nothing left to lose"? Look at yourself after voting Democrat so many times.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good thing to say. I mean, like, look, they have nothing left to lose. They haven't improved. Their life hasn't improved. He's right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty communist thing to say, to be honest.
Pretty communist thing to say that you have nothing left to lose.
The proletariat have nothing left to lose but their chains,
So rise up against the bourgeoisie.
Hey, there you go, yeah.
Hey guys, one of the podcasts has 32 views. Look at that.
Our first podcast had like 80.
Like 60. Yeah.
Oh really?
Like 80, I think.
Oh yeah, 82. Yeah, look at that. Nice.
We need to bring up an old policy I mentioned a while ago. Trespassers will be claymored.
Oh yeah, we should definitely implement that into like American law.
Yeah, and it's like criminal trespass by crossing borders, or if we don't want you.
Yeah, we should put claymores all along the Mexican-American border.
What about the Canadian border? You're forgetting that one
Those
too.
two. No, we should just nuke Canada. Like, quite frankly, I hate Canada.
No, dude, the Canadian people are...
Hey, since last Muslim terrorist attack. Days, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds.
I mean, come on, the Canadians just have a misguided sense of freedom, and I mean, they just need to get their... They've never had a constitution, right? Not a real one. They follow English common law. So we just need to give them American constitution and say, if you don't run by this, then we will nuke you.
They have a parliament. Great.
I mean, in Ontario, they can steal your kid if you don't give them a sex change operation if they want it.
What?
They can what?
in the French province, I forget what the
Quebec?
province is called. Yeah, the whole province. They've passed a law a while ago saying that if your kid wants a sex change operation and you don't give it to them, that's a reason to take them away from you.
Oh,
That's
I
fucking
remember that.
ridiculous.
I remember that.
Yeah,
That is
so
actually fucking ridiculous.
this is why I say Canada's retarded. I mean,
No, this is why I say the left is retarded.
but the whole left has this misguided sense of freedom, and saying that freedom applies to minors when it really doesn't all the time.
Well, in fairness, that's not a left-wing policy. It's just an ultra-liberal policy. There's
a difference between liberal and leftist.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
true too.
Yeah.
So when I say liberal as an insult, I really mean leftist. I think Steve said in the last podcast he likes liberals. He can talk to liberals, but leftists I can't talk to like that. That's just wrong.
Because there's like social justice warriors are very misguided.
They're not
very
misguided.
stupid.
They're just stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Not misguided. They're
But at the
just
same time, I think it's a mistake to say that they're leftist because
No,
half of them don't have a clue what
Let's
they're-
let. Hey, how about this?
I
Hey,
classify
us-
the difference between liberal and leftist though.
Us right-leaning people have been talking. Let's let left side talk a little bit.
Oh yeah, left side's been able to talk.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, let him bring up some
No,
some
he's English. He's not allowed to talk. This is America.
Yeah, this is America.
You
We
can
broke
fight
free
for his
from
freedom
you.
to talk. I'm joking. Left side, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I basically said what I need to do. The reason I haven't really been talking much is because you guys have been talking about American policy, which is fine. But,
Do you have anything interesting you want to bring up?
Okay,
about,
so as an Englishman, what do you think about the open borders kind of thing with the rest of Europe?
Yeah, I
Do you
agree.
think that's a good-
I
do you
want
think
to.
that's a good part about
I
Brexit?
I want to hear about that.
That's kind of a close analogy for our Flint terror attack talk.
well, in terms of Brexit, I was very much for Remain. I don't think that's much of a secret. I think you can probably tell.
Wow, I'm so surprised.
Yes, exactly. In terms of open borders, I think that the British people thinking that in leaving the EU that we can suddenly have closed borders is very misguided because it's not strictly true. It's
You'd have to leave the Schengen zone.
Well, I mean, we clearly have a problem with radical Islamic terrorism. I think to deny anything like that is heavily misguided. However, we have to look at our foreign policy, think about where we can improve to stop such future events, such our intervention, such like the intervention in Syria really isn't helping. We should never have gone.
Oh yeah, I'm for a total pullout of the whole Middle East.
But so yeah,
I'm stopping the support of terror states like Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's another big thing.
In itself is an inherently violent religion, and the people are in a desperate need of a reformation.
Yeah, but you can't force a reformation on a people. You have to let them get to that reformation themselves.
Well, you also can't force reformationists to stop speaking. Like Muslim reformationists, a lot of them are like shut down, and
They're considered apostates.
yeah, they're considered evil. So they are shut down by the left and other Muslims. And then, by the way, I just want to say this about Facebook. They delete Islamophobic posts, and then they also allow ISIS propaganda.
Oh yeah, Twitter verified the Muslim Brotherhood branches. I have no faith in any social media right now.
Wait, what?
Twitter verified a branch of the Muslim Brotherhood, like their press branch or something in North America. At the same time,
Are you kidding? Are you serious?
It's not
pathetic.
official. It's not officially called the Muslim Brotherhood press branch, but that's basically what it is.
Stupid.
And then Huma Abedin has ties to the Muslim Brotherhood.
I have a question. If anyone wants to answer this for me,
Okay.
you know that guy that's on that morning show in MSNBC. He's
Morning Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an
I looked him up. He said he's a Republican, but he seems like he's a Democrat.
He used to be a Republican. Like,
No,
I think
he
he
goes on a show. He insults Trump all the time. Calls him an idiot,
So is he a Republican or a Democrat? Because he was a Republican
definitely a
congressman.
Democrat. He's
Wasn't-
a liberal.
I think he used to actually be a normal Republican.
He was a Republican congressman from Florida.
Yeah, no, but Florida is weird. Their politics are kind of skewed, just like the whole state.
No, but it was the really conservative part of Florida, the Panhandle.
He might have changed.
South Florida.
I mean, he's been out of
Really?
government. He's been out of government for a while. His politics might have changed.
Hey,
Yeah.
Left Side, we kind of did a whole podcast about this, but what are your opinions on the UK election?
Oh well, I campaigned for Labour. I
Of course
was
you did.
surprised. Yeah, yes, exactly. I
They
was
campaigned for
surprised.
UKIP.
Yeah, they certainly tailed off a bit, didn't they? But I was I was quietly confident going into the expo, and when I saw that there was a hung parliament, I thought, yeah, it seems about right. I think there's a tide, not a complete tide across the country of optimism, but certainly the Labour vote went up a lot. The
Oh, yeah.
Conservative vote, the gamble that Theresa May did really backfired. She didn't increase her majority. Jeremy Corbyn came out of it looking a lot stronger as a leader than her.
Definitely.
And I think at the moment,
When the opposition party leader calls on you to resign, you've obviously screwed up.
yeah, well, all the opposite. I think Tim Farron, Liberal Democrats,
Yeah,
Greens,
Nicholas
all that.
Sturgeon.
Didn't he
Yes.
resign though? Didn't Tim Farron resign?
Yeah, yes, he resigned.
Wait, okay. So I asked a question about this. Like the Liberal Democrats, are they like what are they like? What would they relate to here in America?
They're basically like the Democrats.
So what's Labor?
Which branch of Democrats? Bernie branch or Hillary branch?
Yeah.
Well, Lib Dems would probably be more in the Hillary branch, but
And then Labor would probably be more Bernie branch.
I mean, Jeremy Corbyn is a self-proclaimed Marxist.
But how about conservative?
John
They're like
McDonnell,
Republican.
John McDonnell is.
Conservatives more like centrist
Yeah.
Republican. Right? Okay.
Yeah, they seem a tad authoritarian too.
Yeah, I mean, the whole election. The point of the election was so they could increase their majority. That's a very authoritarian move inherently.
And they screwed up.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of their political position, I'd say that they're about Republican, maybe slightly left, but
Well, the Republican Party is left, so
No, it's
it's center left. It's center left on my scale.
Yeah, okay. Don't talk to local. Don't listen
Yeah.
to local. Just disregard everything
I mean,
you just said.
considering most of them like Obamacare, I'd call it center left.
Yeah, because they don't want to get fucking cucked on the election. If they just totally repealed Obamacare, they'd lose like fucking half their Senate.
But I think a lot of them actually do appreciate it that a government-run monopoly has power, though.
All right, we're gonna stop local there before he gets out of hand.
I'm always out of hand. What are you talking about?
Abolish the state.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you
no.
guys were talking. I
But
made
no.
coffee and bagels.
I'm all for the free trade of Europe, but I don't think free trade should include open borders. I don't.
Oh,
think
no, definitely not. Yeah.
I like the free movement of goods, not the free movement of people.
Yeah, same.
I mean, as long as there's some serious.
How do you guys feel about that? The travel ban, or it's not really.
Constitutional.
The issue with the travel ban is he said
completely constitutional.
He needed what he said was I agree with the travel ban. I agree with the concept of a travel ban. I think it's a good idea. But the issue with what Donald Trump said was he needed the 120 days so that he could develop an extreme vetting plan.
But he's had more than that.
Yeah, he's had more than that, and he still hasn't developed the extreme vetting
But
plan.
I think he's saying is to defend him, which I don't love to do. But the problem is that they've had the constant influx of refugees still. They haven't been able to shut it down, so they haven't been able to have that time dedicated to reevaluating their position.
No, the Trump
I think
administration is utter chaos at the moment.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad, which is why
it's like a House of Cards, not the good type, where it's like Kevin Spacey running it, and he runs everything, but it's like a House of Cards about to fall down.
What do you think about season 5?
Oh my god, I loved it.
I thought it was kind of like a little bad. Like they just went straight psychopath. Like
Kevin Spacey's character went full blown batshit crazy. The very first episode, the very beginning, I love it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I love it.
What do you mean? It's the first episode. Which part?
When he's in the, I'm not gonna say what happens, but remember when he's in the house building?
Oh yeah, and he throws the newspaper.
No! Stop spoiling it! But stop spoiling it. But everything he does is so. I love it. This is where I wanted it to go. It's like all the season's plot lines just converge at season 5.
In one of the episodes, he said the age of reason is done. Right?
Yeah. It's basically the Democratic Party. But no, I love it. I love season 5. I'm a huge House of Cards fan, but I binge watched it, so I forget a lot. That's the problem with binge watching. I forget a lot of stuff.
It's true.
But no,
House of Cards predicts that the first emperor of America will be a Democrat.
what?
Oh yeah.
And the
What are you
dictator
talking
of
about?
America will be a Democrat.
We've had dictators, aka Woodrow Wilson, FDR, JFK, Lyndon B. Johnson,
Lincoln.
Reagan.
Reagan wasn't a dictator.
War on drugs.
Was that Reagan?
Anyone who
That
is
didn't
a
start
genius
with
is a
Reagan.
dictator.
Oh, it didn't start with Reagan, but he severely expanded it.
And that
And
was
you've
also
got-
Nancy Reagan, too.
Yeah, then you've also got Obama, George W. Bush. I'm not going to say
Okay.
Clinton. Clinton wasn't a dictator. Trump. Yeah, so there's been a lot of dictators in American history. That's
They're
just to name a
not
few.
dictators. Oh, my God.
You're talking to me.
The only one I would actually consider a dictator is actually Lincoln was a dictator, but that doesn't mean he was a bad president.
I'm not going to say he wasn't.
He was a good
The
president.
ends justified the means there. I'm going to say that.
It was justified, but he was most certainly a dictator. And I could say that FDR, you could maybe consider him a dictator, but other than that...
He sent citizens to internment camps. He tried to stack the courts. That way he'd have sole authority to do whatever he wished. So, very Hitlerish. I mean, he basically modeled Hitler's rise to power, tried to.
Yeah, sure,
FDR's
I'll
a
give you
commie.
FDR, but other than that, I can't, no.
JFK.
Yeah, but Hitler got his rise to power by intimidating voters and frauding fucking elections. I don't think he did that. So
Yeah, but he basically said, if you don't listen to me, then you'll all die.
Then
And-
Obama...
well, yeah, but also
And
you know
he blamed the capitalists, just like Hitler blamed the Jews.
well, but also you got to
he tried to
remember,
stack the courts. So he would have authority.
everyone was going to vote for him because the Republicans had just gotten into a Great Depression, so no one was going to vote for fucking Hoover.
No one
after
got
that
them
shit.
into the Great
FDR
Depression. The problem was the overproduction
that's
of
what I'm saying.
agricultural goods started
Hoover
it.
was there during the Great Depression, so no one was going to vote for Hoover.
Yeah.
Hoover when he
Uber.
sort of caused the Great Depression.
At least Debs didn't win that election. That would have been even worse.
But yeah, that would have been awful. Left side's like, yay.
At least Huey Long never became president. That would be the worst thing ever.
Like, he got assassinated, right?
Yeah. What do you guys think about? Hey, left side. What do you think about American ultra liberals like Huey Long and FDR? Are they liberal enough for you?
Well, they're fine. I think they did. They did all right for their time. I mean, at certainly when they.
Huey Long wanted to cap on wealth. I'm pretty sure that's left enough.
Well, I mean, it's not left when you compare it to like Mélenchon, for example.
Yeah.
However, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Certainly.
I was going to ask you a question. So it's kind of old, but you remember that French election happened like 4 months ago?
Well, the
Whatever that was?
parliamentary election just
Presidential.
happened.
No, the presidential. Remember that the Mélenchon guy? He wanted 100% income tax on people making over like $450,000.
No, yeah, and it was ridiculously low, too. It was $400K and up. He wanted all the
Yeah.
money.
So how does anyone support that? Like how do
They
you?
weren't
How
even
do you
millionaires.
justify
Wait,
a
does France
100% income
Does France have joint household income taxes?
No, I want to hear left side's opinion. How do you support that?
I don't support it. I think $400,000 is far too low.
Oh, so you support the 100%
Wait,
income tax? Is what you're
but
saying,
you
though.
would support 100% income tax.
Well, at a point, certainly, yeah. But what you can remember, 100% income tax isn't taking away everything. There's a threshold at which income tax.
So
certainly
you want slavery? Basically, what you're saying that the only person entitled to the fruits of your labor is the slave owner or the government in that case.
Yeah,
Except for the few meager possessions they give you, aka the threshold is what you called it.
Well, the threshold.
So if they have 100% income tax, how are they to make money and then give the government money?
And second of all, how exactly? But second of all, why would they have any incentive to expand their business or invest their money?
There will be no
or
businessmen left.
do any of that if literally 100% of their income goes to the government.
No, Melanchon's
not 100%.
Melanchon's a genius.
Okay,
right?
let's just say it is 100%. Let's say it's 70%.
Melanchon
Even
is a
then.
genius. Okay, he's doing exactly what he should be doing as a socialist. When the economy crashes after that 100% income tax, he'll tell people, "Oh, look, communism is the answer, and they'll all fall to communism." He's actually a genius.
Well, no, I don't think that's what he was really going for.
Oh, don't tell me that socialism is not the transitional phase between capitalism and communism, and its whole goal is to induce communism.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I
he's a
agree, yeah.
socialist.
Yes, he is.
So
then
you're
how
telling me
can
that
he
his
deny
goal
it?
is not
But
to bring his whole goal is not to bring communism to France.
I think he understands that that's probably being impossible. I think if he got into power, he would act very much as a social democratic person. You remember Donald Trump during the campaign was very radical in his speeches. He was very radical in his policies. Look how he's become slightly more moderate. Anyone that's radical comes to power, they have to dumb it down a bit because they know
Yeah.
that what they'll do will eventually.
Didn't Macron
either
get a lot of
backfire.
seats in the parliament?
Yeah,
he
Macron.
got
Did
20.
Macron get a majority? His
Oh,
party.
Macron got a landslide. Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole thing is that he pulls people from the left and the right, correct? In France.
Yeah, because his social is like
Yeah,
more
it's
left,
more
but
like
his economic is more right.
no, it pulls people from the left and
Yeah.
the right,
Yeah.
correct?
Well, because yeah,
Republic on March. It brings people from the left and the right. Isn't it basically just really pro labor union and like pro like social liberalism?
he's kind of anti-labor union. He wants to cut 150,000 public sector government jobs. He wants to reduce taxes on investments and corporations. He wants to do pretty center right leaning right economic things.
Do I
But he
like
also
Macron?
supports gay marriage and stuff
Yeah.
and stuff like
Well,
that.
He's very
because gay marriage is
pro-European.
not freedom. Is what
he
you're saying.
supports gay marriage.
Oh my God, he supports gay marriage. He's obviously a hardcore socialist liberal.
No, I'm just saying it has more of appeal than I don't know, the National Front does.
So
Yeah,
is
the
it,
National Front.
so would you call Macron basically like a moderate classical liberal or like
call
a
him a
classical
centrist.
liberal leaning?
Well, I'll tell you how many seats each party got right now. I have it. So Macron got 350. The Conservatives, like the Republicans or whatever they're called, they got 136. The left, the Socialist Party, lost. They went from 331 seats to 45.
Well, remember the
Yeah.
socialists were the incumbent. The socialists were the incumbent, and they
335.
They
screwed up.
lost two. They lost 286 seats.
It's
Melon
worth bearing
Khan-
in mind.
Melanchthon
bearing
got
in-
17 seats.
What
The
about
socialist-
Front National? How many seats did Front National get?
National
I
Front
think.
gained 6 seats.
How many
They went
seats do
from
they
2 to 8.
have?
They went from 2 to 8. So now they have 8.
They have
They went
8
from 2
seats?
to 8. Yeah, they went from 2 to 8.
The problem is the Front National support is widespread throughout the country, not so much centered in areas.
Exactly. Yeah.
They have a minority of the support. I'm not saying they have a large support, but their support is spread throughout the country.
Now, do you want to see percentages? Like actually,
No,
who got
that's
the
fine.
percentage?
But the thing is, the socialists were the incumbent in France under Hollande, and he really screwed up like a normal socialist.
Everyone
So,
hates the Socialist Party.
yeah, so they lost a lot of seats because of that.
All right, guys, can we end this here?
Yeah, just give me 5 seconds, and I will abolish the state, and I call it good.
All
Bye,
right,
guys.
bye.